Well, here we go. Out and about on the bike again. And boy, is it gloomy today. It's the 30th of December, the day before New Year's Eve. So I thought I would talk about my year in cycling. For those of you that don't know, this is my second year of cycling. Well, I say that, I did race bikes for many years, but then I stopped riding for about 30 years. And I decided to start cycling again in January last year. And I didn't set myself any targets or anything, because I didn't know what was going to happen. And I was quite pleased with my achievements last year, but slightly disappointed too, because at the end of the year I had a little tot up on Garmin Connect, had a little look at my total distance for the year. I think it was 1,956. Didn't quite make it to the 2,000. So this year I did set a target. This year I thought to myself, well, if I did near enough 2,000 last year, I'll aim for 3,000 this year. And I've done 3,100, so considering it was just a thumbsuck arbitrary target that I'd thought about, I'm pleased to have achieved that. But boy, has the weather conspired against us. Wow. I think this has got to go down in history as the wettest year in Britain on record. And it really has been bad. I'm gonna say, you can see what I'm riding through. This is the norm now. I'm going to say with some confidence that I don't think in the last 7 months, I don't think there's been a single day when there hasn't been a severe weather warning. Maybe not always related to where I am, but somewhere in Britain there's been a severe weather warning, and it has rained and rained and rained and wind. Coming out of Wales, you have the Severn Bridge, and if you look at one of my previous videos, I did actually ride across it this year, but it's been closed more than it's been open this year due to high winds. And it started off at the beginning of the year with torrential rain, and it just rained and rained and rained, and there was floods, and then we had a little spell of nice weather, which started in May, which coincided with me getting the revolt. I got this on the 1st of May, and we had 6 weeks of dry weather, and it was dry, but it was still quite windy, and it wasn't even that warm. But still, people moaned, because they do. And people were saying, oh gosh, it's too hot, we're going to need some rain. And I kept saying to them, careful what you wish for, because in Britain, if it starts raining, it won't stop. And then people were saying, oh, I don't like it hot, and oh, have you seen my garden? And then in the middle of June, it started raining, and it hasn't stopped yet. And as I said, we've had severe warnings, we've had high winds, we've had floods. It's been a nightmare. to try and keep the bikes clean. And getting the Revolt, that was a big boost. Just felt so comfortable on it. And of course with the dry weather, I rode and rode and rode, and in May I did 350 miles. And my previous highest total for a month was 266. Never been down here before. And that's one of the things about this year. I have been having to discover a lot more local routes because the weather has been so bad you didn't really want to go anywhere, you know? Or not too far anyway. Particularly the wind. You know, the big concern with the wind is you ride out with a tailwind and you get where you're going and then you can't get back. You haven't got the energy. You know, the old theory that you ride out into wind and you ride home with the wind behind you. And I've been trying to do that, but I'm very limited to where you can go because the wind's blowing in the same direction all the time. Or most of the time, should I say. But nevertheless, the day you plan a particular route and the wind direction's wrong, so you have to rethink it then. And I do have this strange obsession. I don't really like riding out and back. I always like to ride a loop. I don't know why. Anyway, so the Revolt was just magnificent. And I've spoken about it before. I just feel really comfortable on this bike. And last year I rode the Trek for quite a long time, and then I had a broken spoke. I think that was earlier this year, early part of this year. Bang, broken spoke. Went back to the shop and they said, well, it shouldn't really happen. And they said, I'll put a new spoke in, but if it happens again, we're going to be telling Trek we want new wheels. And then it did happen again. But they changed their mind by then. And they just said, well, you know, sometimes spokes break, it's all right. So I put a new spoke in. And this was all around Easter. Within, I was really up for a ride. I was going out, I was feeling good. I thought I could carry good pace and really get going, and so I went out and I'd done about 2 miles and then bing, another spoke broke and I was annoyed. So I went back to the shop and I said, this is clearly a problem. I want new wheels, or a new wheel anyway. So in the end, they said, oh, the only wheel they could get had 32 spokes. And was I happy with that? I said, well, of course I am. I'm breaking spokes. The stronger the better. And he said, well, it's slightly heavier, so I don't think I'll notice the difference. Anyway, after a couple of weeks' wait, I went back to get a new wheel and they cocked it up. It was a quick release hub instead of a through axle. So then they decided they would keep the bike and rebuild the wheel with DT Swiss spokes. And that was annoying because on the Thursday before Easter I went out on the fast road and I broke a spoke on that as well. And of course nobody could repair it because it was Easter. So I had no bikes. And I managed to find a set of wheels on Facebook, which was an amazing find because they were Bontrager wheels, quick release, which the Fast Road is, but they were 32 spoke. And the guy wanted 40 quid for them. They'd never been used. He bought them for his e-bike and found that they didn't work. And it really put it into perspective because I went up to get them and I gave him the 40 quid. I mean, it wasn't even worth negotiating on that. And he said, thanks, that'll pay for my golf this afternoon. And I thought, how about that? I bought a set of wheels for the price of a round of golf. So we put them on the Fast Road. Then this deal came up on the internet for Hunt Super Dura wheels, which are supposedly light and strong. Well, that's what I need. So I ordered them. So I've never really tested the ones that the bike shop built for me. They're up in the attic. And I put the Hunt wheels on the Trek, and they've been fine. Can't say I noticed any difference at all though. You know, people say, oh, if you upgrade your wheels, you feel a huge difference. Well, I didn't. I didn't feel any difference at all. But that's not why I got them. I got them because I wanted them to work. Simple as. Fast Road has been a little bit neglected this year. Probably because I've got the Revolt, but also because I've been doing various things and decided to upgrade it to 105, for example, and keep putting it up on the stand, and it stays there for a few days while I figure out how to do the various things, because I'm not a bike mechanic, so I'm learning as I go along. It does go out from time to time, and every time I go out on it I really enjoy it, and I think, oh, I should really ride this bike more. But I haven't finished the upgrade yet, so we'll have to see how that goes. But it is still a really good bike. Anyway, in about September, went out on the Revolt and broke a spoke. So I decided it's obviously me that's the problem here. I need good quality wheels. I've broken a spoke on every single bike. So I got DT Swiss GR1600s, and I really did notice the difference this time. Can't really put a finger on it, but it's somebody's giving you a little bit of a push when you're riding compared to the old wheels. Now it started raining again. According to my weather app, rain should stop on Thursday. I'm not going to hold my breath though, because the chances are it won't. So overall, I wanted to do an epic ride. The weather's prevented me from doing that. But overall, I've had a pretty good year in cycling. How's your year been? Let me know in the comments.